Good evening, everyone. Everybody's doing all right? We'll wait for some of the conversation to die down in the back. Everyone grab a seat or stand or whatever, wherever you. We'd like to welcome everybody for coming out tonight. Thank you all. We haven't had a community kind of forum or platform in quite some time. At least not since I've been in Tucson. So we want to, I know there's been a lot of questions, comments, praise, criticism, what have you, about Tucson Urban League, and so we wanted to make sure that we provide a vehicle to get the information out about what's been going on with the Tucson Urban League, and hopefully have a chance to answer any questions or concerns anyone may have. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get this thing started. For those of you who have not met me earlier this evening, my name is CJ Battle. I am this year's board chair for the Tucson Urban League. And so, next slide, please. And Ms. Tarisha Ellis is our current interim CEO. Please stand up. Our other board members that are here today is our vice chair, Ms. Georgia Hill. And I saw Steve Leal walk in the room a moment ago. And our board treasurer was here a moment ago. Oh, there he is, Mr. Jomar Jenkins. So, other members of our board, you would not believe, so I'm not going to put their business out there like that, but they are very valid excused absences, trust me. That's all I can tell you. But we have been working very hard to try to get the board back into shape. That has been one of the primary concerns regarding the Tucson Urban League, both from the national organization standpoint, staff standpoint, and quite frankly, a lot of our funders and what have you. So it's the lack of consistency and attention to detail that board responsibilities require. So we've been working very diligently. We have certainly made some very positive strides in that area, but we still have a little ways to go. But I think we are certainly on the right track. Next slide. So to get this thing started, we thought it might be best to just start at the beginning. However, how did the organization that we know as the National Urban League come about? Well, in 1910 was the Urban Conditions Among Negroes started in New York City, pretty much as a organization to pretty much for all the things that we talk about now that show you that as much as things change, a lot of things remain the same. Attention to living conditions, working pay, opportunity. That organization was started and then later merged with two other organizations. That would be the Committee for the Improvement of Industrial Conditions Among Negroes and the National League for the Protection of Colored Women. And they all formed the National Urban League, the National League for Urban Conditions Among Negroes. I had to turn and look at that because it's not a story that I've often been told. I'd have to do a little homework to find that information. But in 1920, the name was shortened to what we now know it as today, the National Urban League. And the last bullet point I wanted to make one of note because upon the National Urban League's founding, the board chair was actually a wealthy white woman actually, and she held on the board chair position for 18 years to make sure that the organization got off to the solid footing. That is why it is one of the little known mandates, in fact, that the National Urban League on the national level and all of its affiliates must maintain a multiracial, multicultural community that reflects the city and community in which it resides. Next slide. The four pillars of the National Urban Leagues are jobs, and right below it you can see some of the after each of our four pillars we have pretty much our national platform or premier programs for the organization. So jobs, education, housing, and healthcare. So of these national organizations, Tucson Urban League did have a grant for the National UYIP program. However, we lost that bid about 3 years ago. It is a highly competitive, very large, lucrative contract that we execute. And it is, this year they only gave it out to 7 of 97 affiliates. We were in the running for that. However, we came up just a little shy for winning that particular grant. However, they were highly recommended for another grant that we will be submitting for that is along the similar guidelines very soon. And so that is where we are from the national standpoint, but to kind of bring it down to a local level, we're going to introduce Ms. Tarisha Ellis to come up here and tell us all about what's been going on with the actual operations of the Tucson Urban League. Ms. Ellis?
Good evening. The mission of the Tucson Urban League is actually to align with the mission of the National Urban League to enable, assist, and empower neighborhoods, communities, families, and individuals to secure economic self-reliance and to coexist in an integrated and pluralistic society. Just to give a little background, the Tucson Urban League was founded in 1971 by the Tucson Chamber of Commerce Committee as a response to minority unemployment here in the city of Tucson. That's how we became the 97th affiliate of the National Urban League. So we are, as CJ said, an interracial, nonpartisan community service organization. And we have over 20 programs and initiatives that we offer at the League. And I'm going to pass it on to my colleagues that are going to let you know a little bit more about the programs. I'm going to start off with Juan Godinez in our housing department. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. I'm Juan Godinez. I am the project manager for the housing department. The housing department is composed of different programs. One of them is weatherization. When people think of weatherization, they tend to say, oh, it's just a replacement of doors and windows. That has been completely renewed. It's now a science. And now we are able to reduce the energy bills for low-income families with emphasis on our elderly, are disabled, and people or families with children. We've been so successful that throughout the city of Tucson, we have been weatherized over 700 homes now throughout our communities. That means that 700 families now can afford more clothing, more food for their tables, for their children, for their education. In partnership with TEP and Southwest Gas, we're able to perform our duties to empower those on need, and it's a great program. We also have CDBG, which is the Community Development Block Grant that we have a partnership with the City of Tucson, meaning that what we cannot do with weatherization, we come in with those funds and we close the loop. A good example of that, we recently helped a family. This family was an elderly family. We're living 2 years without heating or cooling, or with hot water. During the summers, this family they had to go to the mall, either in the summer and then in winter. They took hot baths. I mean, it was chaos, not to mention that both of them suffered illnesses. Thanks to weatherization and the collaboration with the city of Tucson, we were able to provide heating and cooling and also a water heater for the family. And they're so grateful, and now they live in a healthier environment. Want to mention also, it's not only about helping the families. If you think about, we are able to stimulate the economy, the local economy, by hiring local contractors, by buying everything local. So we are contributing so much and beyond to the city of Tucson and to each member. So really grateful and believe as we believe in the program, because weatherization works and will continue to work. Not to mention, we're doing also reducing the carbon monoxide for the environment. So it touches the lives of so many things and so many programs. It's a beautiful program, and I hope you will also support us on finding us some applicants. We're ready for it. Deborah Johnson is right there ready for the applications. Also, in our housing department, there's affordable housing program with the National Urban League. I think in the, since it started, they already have served 75 families, and they're working hard so we can offer mortgage assistance, which you all know that's one of the biggest needs that our community it's being hit on. So that concludes my program, and thank you all for coming. And I hope you support us on the Tucson Urban League and believe on what we do. I want to introduce one of my co-workers, David Hinton. He will talk about his program. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. First off, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. The gentleman that I just followed behind, Juan, is from what I learned of him over the last few years, Juan is actually a very passionate gentleman. He takes a lot of pride in the work that he does. And just hearing some of the work that was put together by co-workers, but I like to refer to them as teammates, even with feeling a little bit under the weather when I woke up this morning, I knew for sure I would make it here today for a number of different reasons. But just to kind of speak on my piece for why I'm here, my name is David and I'm the facilitator of the case management department. And the whole title of case management, it provides a certain feel, a certain understanding. However, from learning over the last 4 years that I've been at the Tucson Urban League, what the core part of our case management program is, we actually provide emergency services to those families that are in financial crisis. What our goal is to help try to establish some form of self-sufficiency with these families that are going through this financial crisis. What you're looking at here is the core part of our funding. We get roughly about 1.8 in federal funding. As you can see, that 41,000 represents around about 2% of our overall budget with what we're able to do. And as Juan touched on, the rental and mortgage assistance here in our community is extraordinarily, there's a major need for it. However, that's what we're provided. We do our best to get it out there to the families that are in most need. And just speaking a little bit in terms of our team, kind of got notes because I don't want to leave out the core of what we do. The three utilities that we actually assist with is water, gas, and electric. That's typically done to Southwest Gas, Tucson Water, or Tucson Electric Power. And just speaking a little bit on the case management program in itself, it's been around for roughly about 20 years from all of the information that I've gathered. We do have a 6-person staff, including myself, who I'm real passionate about the work that I do. Coming from where I came from, I had a number of individuals that kind of helped me get to the point of where I am now. And I say that with a whole lot of pride. I came out here in 1998 as a 17-year-old, you know, attempting to get a college education on my own, no family whatsoever. When I left here in 03 with my college education, never thought I would make it back to Tucson. When I came back in 08, it was because my dad had passed away. And, you know, in coming out here, there was a lot that I was unaware of, being back out here kind of down, whatever, so on and so forth. But there came a time in which I had to pay my utility bills. And making a trip down to Tucson Water, I learned that my dad had 2 other houses in the community, and they also needed the water paid. And I think the young lady that was a clerk there at the time, she seen that look on my face, and she didn't even want to take my money. She told me, like, very sternly, you know what, young man, there's a group, there's an agency here in the town, and they might be willing to help you. And she gave me a piece of paper with the Tucson Urban League and the number written on it. And lo and behold, the Tucson Urban League took care of me. And that's a large part of the reason why I'm here today. I do take a lot of pride in my work. And it's something that I kind of get from this cast of people sitting here in this front row. I feel deep down inside that these people are here for a reason. These people are here because they want to help. And me, myself, would never pass up the opportunity to be a part of this team full of passionate people here for a larger cause. And that cause is to actually support this community. As I look across the aisle of the people that I work with, the majority aren't even from here. And for us to share that passion and to feel that camaraderie that we felt in planning this particular day, yeah, this opportunity is second to none. I wouldn't want to be nowhere else with another team. And I say that from the bottom of my heart because I see how hard these people work day in, day out, fussing, laughing. It's all to get the job done for this here community. So again, I do appreciate everybody being able to come out tonight, and hopefully as we move forward, this group grows larger. The understanding about the programs and what the Tucson Urban League represents will only grow in terms of knowledge. And again, I thank you guys all for coming here tonight. Next up, I would like to bring up our Chief of Staff, Mrs. Maggie Bongine.
Good evening. David, thank you for those wonderful words. I love to hear your story. Okay, so tonight I'm going to talk about 3 programs here at the Tucson Urban League. We're going to talk about the child care centers first. I see Librata in the audience. Librata, can you raise your hand? She's a wonderful, she's a wonderful facilitator. She does an amazing job with these great child care centers. So just to give you a quick overview, we have 2 early learning child care centers, and they provide safe and nurturing environment for children ages 1 to 12. We have 2 centers. One is the Quinto Center, and that is located in the El Pueblo Center. That is located at 101 West Irvington. And the second center, the Ryan Center, in the Aid Mountain neighborhood, thank you for clarifying, Barbara Lewis, at 1665 South LaTroy Boulevard. And the reason why I give you the exact addresses of these child care centers, because I don't think people really see them. They don't have a ton of visibility. But we are offering amazing services that really focus on educational attainment for children by really caring and dedicated professionals. We have some child care workers who have been working in these centers for over 20 years. Correct, yes. Some people with those pins, those Urban League pins, the ones that we all kind of want to get to, yeah, they have them. Another lesser known fact, and this is something that my children do not get at their child care centers, they receive 2 meals and 2 snacks. You know, that's amazing for families who are looking for affordable child care services. Children can be enrolled under the DES child care subsidy. We also have scholarships through the First Things First. But also, our rates are affordable if you do not qualify for those subsidies, okay? So there is we invite you at any time to step into the child care centers to check them out. We also have a flyer up front that has contact information for all of our programs, so feel free to contact Librata directly if you'd like to step in, take a look, refer somebody. We'd appreciate it. Next slide. Project Yes. Sister Marianne, will you raise your hand? This is Sister Marianne. Sister Marianne provides after-school tutoring and mentoring services for elementary and middle school children. The program is located in South Tucson. We serve children from throughout Tucson, but it happens to be located in the city of South Tucson, or is it just the city of South Tucson? This is one of our model programs. Project Yes provides academic support for these children, computer technology instruction, structured recreational activities, and of course arts and crafts activities in an after-school setting. Located, like I said, in South Tucson, you know, we leverage several partnerships that makes this program really amazing. We have a great partnership with Mission View Elementary School. They act really basically as a feeder for this program. Covert School, they offer up, they're also located across the street, they offer up amazing resources like athletic time on their field and other types of resources to support the program. Kappa Delta Chi, got that right, I hope, from the University of Arizona, provides tons of volunteer opportunities. The program has about 100 children enrolled. The focus is on academic enrichment activities, and these activities raise the reading scores by 1 letter grade for about 85% of the children in the program. If you're interested in volunteering, you know someone interested in volunteering with children, please contact Sister Marianne. The information, once again, is on the flyer. Next slide. Seniors program, breakfast and lunch. Cecilia? Oh, I love this program. Seeks to maintain the self-sufficiency of low-income elderly by providing nutritious breakfast and lunch meals in a congregate setting. Offers a myriad of planning, social activities, and access to both on-site and off-site health resources. This program serves 20,000 meals a year at the Quincy Douglas Center to low-income seniors. It's been functioning for 15 years, and there's really not much more you can say about how amazing that is. The program partners with Pima County Health Department to provide health services, St. Elizabeth of Hungary to provide foot podiatry clinics, exercise classes, nutrition workshops, assistance with medication adjustments. And our greatest funders are the Pima Council on Aging. I mean, as you can see, those are our funding sources, and they're great supporters of us, and we're really grateful to have all of our funders supporting these amazing programs. Once again, I'll say it again, these programs are always looking for volunteers, so if you're interested, the information is on the flyer. That is all I have for the programs that I'm going to be talking on. Maybe I can introduce Mario. Can you come talk about youth development?
Hello. Hello, my name is Mario Valencia. I'm the computer lab coordinator for the Tucson Urban League Intel Computer Clubhouse. We are one of 2 clubhouses in Tucson, Arizona, and actually one of 100 clubhouses throughout the world in 20 different countries. The Intel Clubhouse is an after-school program that provides a creative and safe environment for youth between ages of 8 to 18. Us being a part of the Urban League and with our history working with juvenile delinquents and our PAC program, previous programs that we used to have, our age range, we actually go up to youth all the way up to 25. We have a creative, safe after-school environment where we teach the kids how to use programs that they would use in an industry standard. For example, we have the latest Adobe Creative Suite. Kids are able to create movies using Adobe Premiere and also Final Cut Pro. Both are industry standard equipment in movie theater when it comes to making movies. We also do have our own sound studio where we use Pro Tools, another industry standard piece of equipment, and our kids learn how to make beats using Fruity Loops and Reason, and they make hip-hop records. They produce their own music. One of our success stories, actually, we have an artist by the name of Little Red. He recorded his first mixtape album in the clubhouse. He submitted his first song to Philly 520, which is a local radio station here on Hot 98.3. He went up to #1 on the countdown charts on Philly 520 for local artists. And another group by the name of African All-Stars, which is a group of refugees that attend the clubhouse regularly. They all got together, made their own song, and they also attained the #1 spot. So we are too successful in our music program. We're very successful, and our kids love to go in and create music. So we are after school environment. We do serve kids from 8 to 18. Our hours are 2 o'clock to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and Fridays from 2 to 5. Our services, we do have 2 staff. We also have a sports leadership program. My coworker is actually teaching class right now. He teaches women's boxing in the evening for women of all ages, and also youth boxing and MMA, along with just fun activities like dodgeball, basketball. We do host a number of 3-on-3 tournaments. We did have a Shoot for Success program where we held over 4 tournaments throughout the year. Some of those events we have up to 100 youth attend. We just try to provide free activities and free opportunities for youth to engage in physical activity and try to get them to exercise more than 30 minutes a day. That's a recommended amount. Miss Obama, she's really pushing the health initiative, and she says kids should exercise for 30 minutes a day, so we try to make sure our activities last between 45 minutes to an hour. We do collaborate really good together with the Intel Clubhouse and the sports program because we're in the same campus at the Urban League, 2305 South Park. I think that's pretty much it. I don't know who goes after me.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Daphne Connor. I'm the employment training facilitator at the Urban League. So my department consists of, the core of my department is the workforce program, which is the WIA program. We work directly and is funded by the Pittman County One Stop, where we service youth and adults ages 14 to no age limit. I think the oldest client that we had, well, the oldest client that we had to come through our door was about 81 years old. And so the goal of our program is to get these people employed. That's the main goal, but some of them come through for a credential. Maybe it's a GED, high school diploma, an AA degree, a certificate, maybe from TO here at the Barber Academy, maybe medical from a pharmacy tech, a veterinary certificate. So many different programs we're able to assist the clients with funding to go back to school to get some certification. And the end goal is employment so that they are self-sufficient. So that's the main program. One of the programs that we offer is called the InStep program, which is funded and started by Ms. Mayo Coleman, who's in the audience today. These youth work after school for about 10 hours a week, and they do an internship at the University of Arizona in different departments around campus. It could be at the Science Academy, the Science Department, the University Trauma Center, the Rec A. And so they work 2 days a week, 2 hours a day after school for 10 hours a week. On Fridays, they attend a employability skills workshop. And the goal of this program is for these youth to hopefully want to go to college one day. We have a success story. We have a young lady named Stephanie Garado who participated in the program. We placed her at the Eller office at the U of A. She's now only graduated from high school at Tucson High. She's still working in the same department at the Eller College, and she's attending the U of A. So it's a success story for the Insta program. The next program that we have is our Summer Youth Employment Program, which is a big program during the summer. We service about 260 kids during the summer. These kids work in different departments around Pima County, or they'll attend education. They'll attend education classes, whether at their high school or at the University of Arizona. Again, I partnered with Ms. Mayla Coleman and the Grace Timbo and the Green Program. So we service about 260 kids that get through these centers. One of my success stories that I want to talk about is for me, starting my first job at 14. I came through the Tucson Urban League and got my job through with Mayola. Now I'm working with her, so that's a success story for me. Basically that's it, but I want to tell you a quick success story. That's something that we do. Back in 2000, we partnered with, there was a program called the LEAP program, and these youth did an internship program at the University of Arizona. And so what these kids did, they worked in the different departments around the campus at the U of A. So about 3.5 years ago, when I went to have my baby, and the nurse came, and so I'm kind of out of it, and she says, "Daphne?" I'm like, "Sonia? What are you doing here?" She's like, "What are you doing here?" And so the young lady that we had put through this program in 2000, an internship program, ended up being my nurse, because she was the RN, and she was my nurse, so that was a success story. We have many success stories. We have a lot of clients coming back. We did a good story. A lot of people that are happy for the things that we do for them. And so that's how we get by, and that's what makes our job so exciting for the people to come back and just to say the thank you for the little help that we give them. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Phil Larrabee. I'm the Chief Financial Officer for the Tucson Urban League. I'm always very impressed when I listen to all of the things that we accomplish, because sitting in the finance side, I don't always see it. I'm always working with the numbers, trying to help make this organization better, at least from a financial aspect. I've been with the organization for 4.5 years, and we've been facing over that time some significant financial deficits that we've been working to correct. When I started there, we had a $9 million budget. Today, 3 years later, we have a $6 million budget. Some of that is because we've done some consolidation, but a lot of that is because there's been changes in the financial funding that's been available to us, so we don't have as much money to be able to work with. From a financial perspective, one of the ways to look at an organization to see how effective it is to look at its administrative overhead. Our organization, between when we had a $9 million budget, was about 11%. Dropping to $6 million today, we're still at 16%. So we're still a very lean organization when it comes to overhead and the operations and its operations. Most of the money that comes to us goes to serve our clients. So over the last 3 years, we've been working to make a lot of changes in the organization to make it financially solvent. People talk about it as like turning this ship around is like steering the Queen Mary. It takes a long time, and it's very, very difficult to do. But if you're patient, you keep working with it, you will get it right. So some of the things that we've done over the last year is to try to clean some of the cobwebs out of our closet. We've had an outstanding construction project that we've been, because of the economy, have been unable to get going. We're going to be selling that piece of property, releasing Tucson Urban League from that liability. We've had some projects that we, because of financial considerations, weren't able to really move forward. It includes the recreation center that is part of our youth and daycare program. We're mostly completed, mostly finished with that, and hope to have that closed up and finished before year end. We also have some long-term debt that goes back more than 10 years. And we're going to be, it's been an interest-only mortgage that we are going to be refinancing to be able to pay that off so that that goes to zero. With those things done, most of the old skeletons in our closet will be done and will be clean. I've been, over the 4 years that I've been with the Tucson Urban League, I've been part of 4 different audits. The first year we had some 9 or 10 findings. The next year we had 3 or 4. In the last 2 years we've had no findings. Doesn't mean we're perfect. We have had best practice issues. Things that aren't necessarily a problem, but that if left unattended can be. And it's ways that if we follow the recommendations made by our auditors, it will make us a stronger and better company that is more efficient in how it handles itself. We're still righting the ship. Financially, it is a challenge and continues to be a challenge. But we're making progress. In the last 3 months, with the help of the board and management, we've had a lot of very strong and difficult choices to have made, and we have made a lot of those choices. Significant cuts have been made to salaries for non-program staff. We've cut everywhere that there is to cut to make us so that we're not spending money if we can help it unless it's on program. We also have to increase our revenue. And to do that, there's a couple of different approaches that we're looking at or that we have to actually accomplish. One of those is to look for larger funding sources, make Tucson Urban League bigger, bring a bigger impact to the community. In doing that, it brings more money to be able to cover the overhead that we currently have. We also are working on increasing our fundraising activities, lowering the cost of producing them, but also reaching out and trying to touch more people and asking for more contributions. And then finally, we're looking for smaller grants, things that, we've got a lot of programs that maybe almost have enough money, but not quite. We're looking for funding sources, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 grants that'll plug those gaps. Those pieces together is what's going to make the league, is what helps the league continue to help the community in the way that it does. I'll take any questions when it's time, but that's where we're going. Thank you.
Hello again. I'm up here to talk to you about our many accomplishments that we've had this year. I hope that you all have enjoyed hearing from our staff about our programming. We've also had some initiatives that have been pretty successful this year. We had a United Way Day of Caring event where we actually instituted a community garden at the Tucson Urban League. Volunteers from city came out and helped us to go ahead and put that all together, and we were very appreciative of that. We also have some pictures, I think, of our sports complex. As Phil said, it's a work in progress, but you can see we have the new court thanks to the Tucson support from the Tucson Conquistadors. And on the other side of that fence, we actually have grass put in so that kids can go over and play soccer and things like that. So we are still working on it. We have to put some variances and things like that through the city so that we can put a covering over the top so that we are in Tucson. So that kids will hopefully be able to enjoy it year-round. We also have our community closet that was started last year that Daphne Conner also supervises that program. It's been a blessing to be able to give out clothing and food to the community. And I'm actually going to have her come up and talk to you about what they did over the holidays.
community closet that we have. So it started in a little small closet at the Urban League at our Angel Youth Center. It started in school, and so we put out a donation list through the staff. We sent out an email like asking for donations. So I mean, by the next week, the room was full of stuff. And so then we moved over to, we got a whole 2 schools at the Urban League, and we had some of our housing guys build up some shelves. So it's a real thrift store. You guys have to come see it. It's a real thrift store over there. And so we even have another closet where we have like a refrigerator, and that's where we even have a food bank. And so we're able to keep non-perishable foods, and we're still working on some things to go in the refrigerator. We have a diaper bank where we get diapers once a month from the Arizona Diaper Bank, and we get shoes donated from Shoes for Success, running shoes that are donated. This agency cleans the tennis shoes, and then they send them over to us in boxes about every month. And so we do every Thursday between 9 and 12. Clients come in and we fill out a short registration form, and they select the items that they're needing. They don't have to bring any documentation or anything. They just have to come in and say that they're needing help and they need these items, and they're welcome to come in every Thursday if they need to. So they come in the shop, we have an item limit that they're able to get, and do you know, by this time, probably once a month we see about 130 clients sometimes, once a month. And then some of the clients also donate back. You know, once they come a couple times, and then you find them bringing in items that they need to donate back. And that's how we're able to keep it going. And so now we have like 3 rooms full of stuff. And so it's just like crazy. It's a blessing, but it's like crazy now. It just got out of control. It did that. So that's our community closet. And so what we did for Thanksgiving, so funds were kind of limited at the Urban League. So what we did this year is that we had so much stuff we needed to get rid of. We put out another email to staff asking for donations so that we can have like a little thrift store. And so what we did this time, we set up some of the stuff in a room, in an extra room. And we had clients, we put out flyers ahead of time, and so we let clients know on this Thursday we're going to be selling things at a small price. You know, we did a bag of clothes for $3. And they come in, we have furniture, some people donated furniture, they donated dishes and houseware and just all kinds of stuff. And so that day, what we did, we raised $489. And so we're able to give out 26 food boxes with turkeys in them for Thanksgiving for families with the money that we raised. And that's our closet. We take donations. We get the tax write-off. We give you a little letter for your taxes. But that's how we keep it going. The need is there. You have some clients come in with no shoes, or they're thanking you. They'll tell you they've had these pants on for like weeks at a time, and we have a dress over a bathroom. They'll go in and change. They're just so happy. You know, it just makes it, you know, we take our time out to go and sort the clothes and, you know, give the Thursday, that day for the clients, but it's well worth it to see everybody when they're so happy to walk away with a jacket for the kids, or diapers, or just things that they're needing. Thank you.
Well, that was pretty much an overview of what we actually do. Because I know when I first got involved with the Urban League, and one of the people asked me at my job, so what do they do? They do stuff, they help people. And I didn't really know exactly what it was they did. So I thought it was very important that when we give an update and letting people know exactly what it is we do, what services we offer. Because the sole foundation of every affiliate of the Urban League is that we must meet the needs of the community. If we're not doing that, then we are non-compliant. As an agency, as an affiliate of a larger enterprise, and quite frankly, as an entity here in Tucson, Arizona. That is our fundamental mission. And I would like to give everyone on the staff a huge round of applause for all the hard work. So, now that you have a better idea of what has been going on and things that we are actually executing here over the past year, I'm sure there have been numerous rumors. I know I heard plenty of them myself even before I ever got involved with the board. As a matter of fact, I know quite a few of us on the board. Once we all came together, we were all looking at each other like this, like, you sure about this? What are we about to get ourselves involved in? Yeah, there has been challenges. There has been better days. But I can assure you, and I wanted to make sure that we did not come before the Tucson community before we actually understood what it is that we are doing, what it is we're engaged in, how these programs execute, what is our financial health, what is the environment, and are we meeting the needs of the community? If we can't answer those fundamental questions, then maybe it should be shut down. But now that we have reached that point, and we are now at the end of 2012, I can now stand before you as board chair and as a citizen of the Tucson community, knowing that yes, we have certainly made some great strides. We understand where our programs are, and the strides that we have made is by no means the end point. We cannot afford to kick our feet up at this moment, but we are at a stable point. I know that the brand of the Tucson Urban League has been tarnished for several reasons, some rumored, some justified. And we hope we're here to answer those questions here tonight. But before we go into that, as you heard some of the programs that we have to offer and you believe in them, here's ways that you can actually help. Living in Arizona, we hear every year, both nonprofit organizations and school systems alike, Arizona offers the matching credit for $200, a maximum of $200 for individuals, $400 for households. Those cards with that information, it can be found on the back table. You can also, something primarily, once an urban leaguer, always an urban leaguer. Go ahead and come on home. I want y'all to re-sign up if you believe in what we're doing. If you believe in the programs that we're offering, and you have a suggestion on other programs that we can be offering with a little bit of funding, hint, hint. Sign up. Our membership forms can be found in the back. Ms. Barbara Lewis has those over at the table by the door. Please sign up. Encourage others to sign up. We are relaunching the website to where you can sign up on there as well. That should be done by the end of January. Hopefully a whole lot sooner than that, but certainly no later than that. Volunteer. Each of these programs, our staff, they do a wonderful job. But you want to try running a daycare with 30, 40 kids and one staff? So luckily we have been getting a lot of volunteer support from groups like the employees over at City, the students of University of Arizona, our soldiers over at Davis Monthan Air Force Base, and a lot of you all here in this room. None of this would not able to be done without volunteer support. Our recreational facilities, we're now, you saw a sample of the pictures of the new renovated court that has been sponsored with kind, generous donations from the Tucson Conquistadors. We're about to offer a lot of sports programs coming out of that, including, coming up in December once we get into updates, but it's going to be tournaments in basketball, soccer, volleyball. It is a multi-use facility. It is a beautiful facility, and we certainly have been getting a lot of praise, both from not only here in Tucson, but even up in Phoenix. Organizations in Phoenix and other companies have already come out and wanting to support. So we're so thankful that that is getting off the ground, and we certainly look forward to more. Gala sponsorship. If you have not received the postcard in the mail already, our gala will be March 2nd over at the Tucson La Paloma. Sponsorship packages will be sent out actually very soon. We have to reconfigure some things to make sure we change the format of the gala, and we want to make sure we offer a sponsorship package that will be reflective and justified for those organizations or individuals who want to give support. And as always, we are always looking for what we call in the financial world non-restricted funds. So we are, as we stated at the beginning, a 501c3 organization, and all of your donations are tax deductible. You do not have to wait until the gala. You do not have to wait for the end of the year. Anytime that you want to feel like you want to donate, even if you want to donate to a specific program, you can do that, and we'll make sure that 100% of your donation goes to wherever you allocate it to go. And last but not least, we have wonderful programs. As Juan, Maggie, David, all of you have said, we have a lot of programs. A lot of people just don't know that we offer them. spread the word about it. Much like David's story about the lady working over at the water facility. If she didn't tell him, he wouldn't know. There are a lot of people out there that are in need and can use our support, and they just don't know that that opportunity exists. So, next slide. So, our upcoming events. December 21st is going to be a huge day for the Urban League. There we're going to have, is going to be the kickoff of our initial tournaments. We're going to have a soccer tournament, a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. We're giving out toys for tots. We're having a holiday party. It's just going to be kind of an extravaganza kind of deal. So certainly going to please come out support, come out and witness, come provide a helping hand. It's going to be a lot of stuff to do, and if you got the energy and a little bit of time, please come on out and help support. Our South Park Drug-Free Community Coalition. Where's Ms. Deborah Johnson? That is be kicking off on December 18th, correct? Tuesday, December 18th. We actually have information back there on the back table. Where's the location for that, Deborah?
Tucson Urban League.
At the Tucson Urban League. You want to come up and tell me a little bit about that?
Good evening. About a year and a half ago, right here in this room, a group called Amistadis sent out a call to action to the African American community around substance abuse prevention. And Tucson Urban League answered that call. We went through a number of conversations and finally agreed to partner and apply for a mentor-mentee grant through Drug-Free Communities. And we are pleased to say and excited to say that we are one of 6 throughout the country that received that mentor-mentee grant. So we'll be launching our first coalition meeting on December 18th at 12:30 at Tucson Urban League. And we're looking for community members to come and get involved, to help us to build a coalition that will address substance abuse prevention of the African American youth, specifically in the South Park area. Thank you.
And the next event we got coming up is on January the 21st, which is the inauguration of the 2nd term of President Barack Obama. The Loft Cinema, Ms. Debbie Maybe is actually in the audience today, will be hosting the live stream on every screen that they have. The inauguration will be held live, and they will have an event that will be in partnership with the Tucson Urban League. So at the Loft Cinema Theater, with details to come. So please save the date, spread the word. You wouldn't want to miss it. If you can't get to DC, the Loft Cinema is where you want to be. Certainly, the CEO search. I'm pretty sure people got a lot of questions about that, so we'll wait and take your questions. But in the meantime, know that a search selection committee has been assembled. Some of whose members are in the room, and I can call them out so they won't be railroaded. But that process is underway. It is a nationwide search. Applicants have already been applying. The deadline for that application will be December 31st. And if you have any questions if you haven't heard the announcement in the Tucson, the Arizona Daily Star, or any of the other websites that it is on, it is in quite a few locations. But if you have any questions about that, please feel free to contact the Urban League, and we will certainly get you that information, or just see one of us after the event is over. And of course, March 2nd has already announced that we will be having our annual gala over at the Tucson La Paloma, so please save the date and have more information on that to come.